Okay, today we've started our gatehouse build. This has been a long time coming. It took a while to prepare the foundation. That's generally the hardest part, was getting all the rock here to the site and then putting it together to make a foundation out of 3 of the sides right now. So we have the side running along here. Underneath this beam is all rock foundation. And underneath the beam over here, if you can see it, I'll check the angle here. And yeah, so underneath this beam as well is rock foundation running all the way to the back and along the back as well. And then we came in with some clay and we backfilled the whole thing. It's going to help glue it all together, and it built it up where we had a low spot in there that was accumulating water. So now I have a nice level pad up here to work with, and I have rock underneath the main beams. And that preserves these here beams from rotting by having some kind of stone underneath them that they're not contacting the ground. Now, literally, these are just sitting here. I hate that word. It's all the kids' shows there about gaming. They say that, and now it's in my mind, literally. So anyway, these logs are just laying here. This log, we're just sitting on top of that. And then on top of 3 of these, we have this one in the front, one in the back of the structure, and the one here is going to carry the weight of the beam that we're going to run across the driveway, because it is a gatehouse, and so we're going to have a beam that runs across there. And so this is the next side wall here. I was just getting it into position, and I'll have to film this in segments and put them together there at the end. But all I'm doing for now is just trying to line everything up by eye. And of course I used my level on the structure. Everything seems to be level and fairly straight at 90-degree angles, all of that. But this isn't fancy carpentry, but it is going to be cheap. It's going to show people a way that they can use the logs in their forest that they're taking down, rather than thinking it's all just waste or chipping it. You can take these logs and skin them and make the bones of a structure out of it. And so we're going to make this here for no money at all and have a functional little building to store our tools and stuff like that. Anyways, I'm going to take a pause there while I get the other, a couple more of these logs in place. Okay, so this next log here is the one that's going to slide right across the driveway, and it'll sit tight up against this one here for support, and same thing on the other end. And it ended up being about knee height. I would have liked it to have been maybe a few inches higher, but you know, it is what it is. So that's that. I've still got to get the other side here. I'm trying to piece this together. Okay, so now I had to flip the diameter of this here one to put the large end in the back, because I don't want to be hauling the large end across the driveway all the time and have the weight of that. So small end up here, and I just need enough clearance over this for my next log to go, and then this will slide through. But that said, I got into then having to turn these, and I'm not certain if the diameter of this one is going to be enough for that log to slide. So we'll see here momentarily when I get this around. Yeah, so now the test will be when we drop our next log down across there, that one still slides. So we'll move this up as far as I can, and take a pause there. We started the gatehouse build last night and put in a couple hours on it to get where the first part of this video shows. And then I had to quit. The power died on the phone anyways. And so we started up again today. The flies are just crazy out here. We're in the end of May and they're out in full force here today. So I got to talk fast and get this done. Anyways, we're up over the first log that's going to go across the driveway, and it clears this here space. And so that's worked out really well. And then what we've done is wired together. Once we squared this, you measure diagonally and make sure that everything lines up. It is nice and square. Then we came in and tied all this down with wire. Just make sure I'm within your view there. Yeah. So yeah, we strapped everything down with wire that I have. I don't have it laying here handy, but anyways, it's just cheap stuff, and you take your pliers and twist it. And then what we've done is we've put a corner post. So this looks like a large bed frame at this point in time. And the corner posts are eventually going to be nailed in here. Every different log is going to be nailed into this. So that's going to shore everything up. And also now, as I go and lay more logs on here, this gives me a guide as to where the outside edge of this is, because eventually we're going to put our siding on the outside, and we want these here edges all to line up. So having these posts out here on the outer corner allows me to now line up every log that I put on with the outside of the wall. So this should go together quite quick. I'm going to pause there, and I'll build a couple more layers, and you'll see how this comes together. Okay, so here's 2 more 16-footers on. Again, those I'll just butt up tight against those posts on either side. There. We'll strap those in later. Okay, and now we got another 2 8-footers on. And just put our level on here and see if that's the right way. And yeah, by rights it's still saying this side's low, so we'll put the fat end on this here side, and you try to manage which diameter end you use depending on where your level's at. Okay, so before my camera times out, I just wanted to come back on, and also I had to put 2 more fairly large diameter ones here on the top, because we're going to have our second gate rail come along there. And again, we need clearance for the gate rail. Just like this one here, you have to have that space for this log to pull through. So I had to go with a pretty big diameter. We're going to get our next gate log on, and then 2 more, and we'll probably stop there. Okay guys, so this is about 6 hours into our project right now. What we have, obviously it took a lot more time to cut these logs down and skin them, but that work was done over winter when we were doing our firewood, or early this spring. This way we use up a lot of the logs in our forest that were crowding other trees or were dying, had broken tops and were unhealthy. We're able to now use those on something so that there's no waste. And as we take those down, of course, they allow more sunlight into our woods, which is going to allow for more things to grow along the ground. And, you know, hopefully, again, we'll develop some sort of a pasture, a forest pasture over here. But anyways, this is how you can use these logs to build something extremely affordable. It costs next to nothing. And I'm just going to keep stacking these up until I get to the height I want. And then we're going to nail everything together again onto the corner posts, and we'll put our siding up against that after that. And I'll just give you an example here of the siding. Okay, I just stood those cedar half rounds here just to give you an example, but that's all we'll do to finish this building off. Once we have our walls framed in high enough, we'll put our cedar half rounds, these are, and we'll put those on to clad the outside. And then we're going to have our shed built. And so far we've done out of log, we've been able to show you guys how to build an A-frame cabin out of entirely out of logs. We've then built an outhouse using standard stick frame kind of construction, but using logs. And now we've gone with more of a conventional log cabin style build, only very, very simple, with no notching or anything like that required. And you could slap this together and have a very solid building. So 3 different methods we've shown now on our channel of how you can use your logs to build stuff really cheaply and efficiently. Whew. Don't mind that bad carpentry. All right, thanks for watching.